Hi all, welcome back to another Cooking Around the World with Iramu Community Centre. Once again, shot at home. This is the home series continuing. Hopefully we'll be back in Iramu Community Centre fairly soon, but we'll see how that goes. Today we're going to show you how to do an extremely quick Indian meal. This is a little Indian banquet as such, using products off the shelf. I love this particular brand, Spice Tailor. This Indian chef, Anjam Anand, her name is. She does some great products. These are just two of them. She does quite a few vegetarian style things. And in the pack you get everything that's involved in making the dish. Of course you can embellish any of these things the way you want, but basically I'm going to be making these as per instructions. They're all mild flavoured. There is one called a fiery Goan curry, which isn't anywhere near as bad as it sounds. It's got a little bit of a chili kick to it, but not much at all. But these are all very mild flavours, and I think they actually have an indication on the pack somewhere to show you mild, one chili mild. I think even the three chilies, which is the fiery Goan curry, that shows three chilies, but it's really not all that hot. So I'm going to show you how you can do this faster than you can get a takeaway or your menu log or whatever. Right, we're going to do these. By the way, this particular one, Keralan Coconut Curry. Kerala is a state in India down on the southwest coast, and very seafoody. It's a very seafood state. Beautiful foods. They're nice light coconutty curries. And we're also going to do this just a Dahl, just split peas. And once again, everything's on board for that. With this one, we'll add prawns and chicken just to show how people who don't particularly like the prawns can do. I've actually just got 2 chicken tenders there. I'd normally just get a chicken breast, cut into thin strips and cook it that way. But we'll show you how you can do seafood and or chicken. So when you open this pack up, you get a little pack of your hard spices. There's some black mustard seeds, dried chili, there's not much kick in them at all, and some dried curry leaves. So we'll get our wok fired up here. Put a little bit of oil in. That's about 2 teaspoons of oil, about half a tablespoon. Get that up nice and warm to start with. Now, what you do with these, there's a tear point. We'll cut it off to make it easier. Okay, once our oil warms up, just starting to get here now, we'll dump in our dry herbs and spices. That will start crackling in a moment. The mustard seeds, when they go into really hot oil, as soon as they warm up, will start cracking and spitting. So I normally try and I always start a curry with the brown or black mustard seeds. As soon as they start cracking or spitting and they jump out of the pan, I try and keep a lid handy because you don't want the bits and pieces to fly everywhere. Those little brown or black mustard seeds, by the way, when they cook, when they fry in this oil, they'll give a really lovely little nutty. They sort of go like a nutty flavour, which is sort of interesting. This is just flavouring the oils before you start with the rest of the dish. Just want to get that to start sizzling and start to see a little bit of a sizzle. So the dried chilies they use in these, they don't use hot in any of their dishes, so don't be afraid to try these. I've actually taken the chili out of the cooked dish, eaten it as almost like a capsicum. Just starting to get a little bit of sizzle going on there. Now I'm going to cook these 2 dishes for you today. I'm going to cook the Keralan Coconut Curry with prawns and a bit of chicken, and I'm going to do this a Dahl dish, and this will be, as I said, faster than you can phone up and get a delivery done of a fast dish, of your favourite takeaway. Right, what I'm going to do next is just starting to come up to temperature. They're starting to sizzle now. I won't let them go any further. They're just starting to crackle. So what we'll do, chuck our prawns and chicken in. I just want to give them a little bit of colour now. Don't cook them out too hard, otherwise they will, the soup of the chicken will go dry. Just a quick cook on that. Then we'll put in the rest of our ingredients and let the rest of the coloration or cooking come boiling in the in our coconut curry mixture, and that'll keep the meat nice and tender and juicy. As you can see, I'm just starting to get a little bit of colour in these prawns, just starting to colour up. That's what we want. Just get that bit of colour in it. Don't cook them too hard or too long. Make sure they'll get a little bit of heat there. Cords are starting to go pink and they're starting to lose that opaqueness when they're raw. And we don't want to take them at this stage much further. You don't need to brown these, by the way. You don't need to brown any of this off. Just getting the tiniest little bit of colour in our chicken there. It was a touch raw on that one, but just starting to get colour through the centre. We're going to get this is the coconut curry mix. Put that on. Just before I stir that through, I want to add some stalks from the fresh coriander, and we'll use a bit of the leaf to garnish the end. Mix that all through. Oh, smell that. That's how simple this is. Now, you could do things like you could pre-boil some potatoes, you can chuck that in. You could cook it with some onion, you could chuck anything in you want. This is, on the recipe they recommend about 250 grams of meat to go with this dish. So whatever you want to use, your seafood, you could use a nice chunky cut up fish, one that obviously will hold together, something like a snapper fillet or a barramundi or trevally, one of those sort of fishes. You can cut into big chunks and they won't fall apart in the dish. Okay. What I'm going to also do to this, something I really like to do, is add a little bit more coconut milk. There's a little 165 ml can of coconut milk, just to give me a little bit more gravy out of this. And we'll just get that bubbling away, then we'll check the seasoning on that. With that extra coconut milk in there, you can bring it to boil and let it boil down a little more, which just gives, as I said, because we've already just lightly cooked the prawns and the chicken, there's not a lot of chance of now overcooking them because we're just boiling them through in this mix. Okay, we'll just let that cook out for a few moments. Okay, we're just going to clean the kitchen up and just for 5 minutes, and I'll start the second curry. So see you back here in a few moments. Okay, here we are again. Look, this has now just come up to a boil. And I'll quickly check the... Give it a dash of salt. Just a pinch. It's a very mild, it's a coconutty, very mild curry. Don't be afraid that it's going to be a really hot curry. It's not at all. And of course, if you want to make it a bit hotter, you can chop in some chili or chuck in some chili flakes or some chili powder, or you can enhance it if you wish. I'd normally do this with extra onions and garlic and God knows what to make it bigger. I'm just showing you how virtually straight off the packet, that's what you need to do to it. What we'll do, just to make it a little bit greener and more interesting in there, let's chuck all this in. That was two branches of coriander, well, I've used all up. Of course, well washed. Make sure you wash it, get all the sandy material, the growing material out of the roots, and also get rid of any extra little twigs or bugs that might travel with it. A few hitchhikers. Okay, what I'm going to do is move this over to the main stove. Put that on very low. Continue cooking out. Now we'll move over here. Get this one up to heat. What I've done with this one, I'm going to actually, look, you can do it straight off the packet if you wish, but I'm going to show you how you can enhance these with a few extra bits and pieces. What I'm going to do is, very quickly, I've just sliced up some onions so far, so we'll chop that down into smaller pieces. Not a tiny dice, but just cut it down. Simple as that. And I'm going to do 1 clove of garlic. Okay. Get this up to temperature. And quite often when I'm making curry, I'll always add the my own brown mustard seeds, some cloves, some normal clovey cloves, some cumin seeds. So they come with all their packs involved. So we'll get the dry ingredients on first. A few more little bits and pieces in this one. Temperature. There are cumin seeds in there. As I said, once again, there's 2 chilies in here, but they're very, very mild chilies. We've got a hit rating on this one, mild. 1 chili again, won't be a very hot curry. But don't forget, if you wish to make it a bit spicier, go for it. Okay, they're just starting to come up to a bit of a sizzle. We'll put our onions in. Of course, we have the star of our kitchen here. Where's he gone?
He's gone. He doesn't like curry.
He doesn't like curries all that much. There's no goodies for him. He probably would have loved it if we chucked him a couple of prawns though. Bit of a mess here. Any of you have seen me before, we run a messy kitchen here. I do, don't I, Jack?
Yep.
Poor old Jackie has to come and clean all my mess up. Okay, over here. This is just a little bubble over here. Just very, very light boil. Very, very mild. Just a simmer, really. Oh, good. Good, good, good. It's a very simple flavour. It's not a huge curry flavour at all. Very, very simple flavour. We just get a bit of colour into these. Just to make things easier today, there's only 2 of us here. So we're just going to serve up on, I'm just going to use a 90-second rice, just a basmati rice. Of course, if you've got a bigger family, use you cook it how you like, whether you boil it or steam it, whatever you do. Can't do any of these today, Jack. This bloody COVID lockdown, we lost all our secret powers.
Major spinach.
Okay, just adding it a little bit of colour in there now. We'll get our garlic into that. As I said, this is just optional. This is just my way of doing things. Just by the way, that the Keralan Coconut Curry, this particular one, a friend of mine, John, hi John, he uses this to make a beautiful eggplant aubergine dish using exactly the same method I showed you. Instead of adding chicken or prawns or whatever, you can do all these inside the instructions will show you, it'll tell you how you can use it as a vegetable dish. Also, you use vegetables instead. But he uses small cut up cubes of eggplant, aubergine, stirs the mix through and adds the extra little tin of coconut milk to it and makes a very lovely, what the actual Indian dish is called a baigan baigari, which is coconut eggplant curry thing. Beautiful dish. Simple, beautiful. Okay, we're going with the next part of this, the spice mix. Just to get a bit spitty, Jack. Getting spitty. So just cook that out a little bit. Take the rawness off the spices in there. Get some more over here, Jack. I always use a salad spinner to get all the water, drain all the water out of the coriander. Take the roots off. Okay, that's ready there. Once again, just going to finely chop some of the stems. Get in now, just to soften them a little bit. Starting to spit everywhere, let's keep that rolling. Okay, stir that through. I'll turn this down just a fraction. Take that down to a simmer. The simmer's, this is working beautifully over here. I'm just now reducing that coconut mixture just a little bit, just to enhance the flavour. Pepper in this one. Never have too much pepper. You could add extra vegetables to this if you want. You could add some cauliflower or broccoli or pumpkin, sweet potato. Even, as I said, even with that one and this one, pre-boil some potatoes, cut down in very fine dice, chuck them in here too. Just however you'd like it, that's what you do. I'll just get this on, Jackie. "90 seconds. Right, cut our garnish for this one. Right there. That's basically it. That's how quick these things are to make. Just minutes, purely minutes for each of these dishes. And as I said before, virtually straight out of the packet as they stand. Just give this a little taste. Check the seasoning. Doesn't need any. That's fine. Nice little smoky flavour in there from something in this. All this smokiness. Okay. That's ready to go. That's taken, what, 5 minutes, Jackie?
11.
No, not this one, not really. 11 minutes. Turn that off. Let's turn this off. Grab our rice. Want some curry, do you, puss? I cannot tear any of these today. Take a little scoop of prawns or chicken, Jack?
Prawns.
Just prawns. Okay.
Gotcha.
A bit of greenery to divide. I could have used 2 different coloured ones, couldn't I? Maybe one reddish one and one. Anyway, there we go. Simple as that. Now, remember, this is spiced Dahl. You can get them from Woolies and Coles. The Dahl, classic lentil Dahl dish, and Keralan Coconut Curry, done with, as we saw here today, prawns and chicken. So you can do mixed seafood if you want, fish only, prawns only. You can do it with chicken. I wouldn't go any further. I wouldn't use a red meat in this curry at all. But I'll give it a try. Tell us how it works out. So here's our dish. Prawns, lentil dish, a Dahl dish, and some rice underneath. And that's probably taken, what, 15 minutes or so?
13.
13, thank you very much. Cheers. Okay, see you next time.